Hey y'all, today's lesson is square roots and perfect squares. You may or may not have heard of square roots or perfect squares, and so today I'm going to give you a little introductory to that, and then we will work later on in class with it. But some vocabulary that you need to get down in your notes. A perfect square is the square of an integer, x squared. For example, the square means to the second power, so 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. So the square of an integer meaning the exponent of 2, the second power. The square root is one of 2 equal factors of a number, and we use this symbol. Kind of looks like division, but it's not. It's a square root symbol. And the way you do it is it kind of starts off as a check, and then it goes over. So it's very straight. And that's how you would denote the square root symbol. So we're going to be using square root symbols, also called a radical. And then the last vocabulary word for today is principal square root. Principal square root. And that is the positive root of a number. The principal square root is the positive root of a number. There are 2 roots for square roots, and I'm going to talk about that. And we are going to use what's called the principal square root, which is the positive root of a number. So here's your vocabulary. And a few more things. Star, a square root has 2 identical factors, and so that's what we're talking about, 2 factors. For example, i.e. means for example. 25 can be written as 5 times 5, 2 identical factors, 5 times 5. But 25 can also be written as negative 5 times negative 5. Notice 5 times 5, negative 5 times negative 5. They both give us a product of 25. Therefore, the square root of 25 can either be 5 or it can be negative 5. So that's what I was talking about. There's 2 factors. In the other slide, we talked about the principal square root is the one positive. So this right here is the principal square root. They both are correct, but this one we're going to be looking more of. So using what you know, let's see, can you figure out what are the 2 square roots of 49? The 2 square roots of 49 are either what times what equals 49, and they have to be identical. So 7 and negative 7. Very good. The principal square root is the positive 7, and that's the one that we're going to be dealing with mostly. Number 2, the square root of 16 is either 4 or negative 4, because 4 times 4 is 16, and negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. It can't be 2 times 8. It can't be 1 times 16, because they have to be identical. Identical. And then number 3, the square root of 36 is either going to be 6 or negative 6. And just a little note down here, calculators, when we use calculators to find the square root, they're only going to give you the principal square root. When you type in the square root of 49, your calculator is going to say 7. It is not going to give you negative 7. So calculators will only give you the principal square root, which is just the positive. Now here's a list of the most common perfect squares from 1 to 15. It is my recommendation that you write these down so you can always refer back to them. It's something that when you see these problems, when you see these numbers in problems, you will automatically know what the square root is because they're going to be used commonly, 1 through 15. So I'm going to move out of the way. You can copy these down, and I've shown you anywhere from 1 squared is 1, all the way from 15 squared is 225. And these are all of the perfect squares between 1 and 15 that will be commonly used throughout. Okay? So we will use mostly the principal square root, which means we're mostly going to use the positive. We're going to use the positive. And you will find square roots in expressions. We've already done some expressions, but we didn't do anything with square root because we're just now learning it. So we're going to use expressions. So here we go. Number 1, the square root of 49 plus 10. Well, the principal square root of 49 is 7. And then 7 plus 10 is 17. So that's how you do it. Number 2, 30 minus the square root of 16. Well, the principal square root of 16 is 4. So 30 minus 4 is 26. Oops, made a mistake. 26. Uh-oh. All right, so you try this one. The square root of 100 divided by 2. Square root of 100 divided by 2. You try that one. Pause the video and then replay it. So the square root of 100, the principal square root is going to be 10. And then 10 divided by 2 is 5. So the answer would be 5 because the principal square root is 10. So I've got some real world examples. Real world number 4. A square chessboard has an area of 144 square inches. So first let's talk about chessboards. I don't really play chess, but I think the same applies for checkers. It's a square board and it's full of squares. So when it says area, it's talking about the number of squares on top of the board. I think you did area and perimeter last year in 6th grade. So the area is 144 square inches. How long is each side? So let's just review a few things. Area for a rectangle is length times width. But if it says a square chessboard, it's not a rectangle, it's a square. So the area of a square is side squared because a square has all 4 sides the same. So in this example, what is the area? The problem told us that the area was 144. So I substituted 144 in for my A, and that equals side squared. Well, I want to know what one side is. So let me show you how to solve this equation. We're going to take the square root of 144. So notice I put the square root symbol over it, and whatever you do to the left, we have to do to the right. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. The square root of 144, if you just copy down the chart, then you could look back at it, but the square root of 144 is 12, and that equals one of the sides because it's no longer side squared, it's just one of the sides. So one side is 12 inches. One side is 12 inches. I did that because I took the square root because the area was 144. That means side times side. But I didn't want the whole area, I just wanted one side. So to undo a square, you have to take the square root. So using this method, follow these steps to try number 5. Your bedroom is a perfect square. If you order 225 square feet of carpet, how long is each side? So think about it. Where does carpet go? Carpet goes flat across the floor of your bedroom. You order 225 square feet of carpet. Is one of your bedroom lengths 225 feet? No, I don't think so. So you have to use that information to find what are the sides of your bedroom. And you're going to set it up exactly how I did it here. Area equals side squared. You're going to put something in for this area, and then you're going to take the square root of both sides. So you try number 5 on your own, pause the video, and then press play when you're ready to see. So area is 225 square feet. So I would type that in right here, 225. And then I would take the square root, not the square root of 225, the square root of side squared. And this would give me the square root of 225 is 15. So it seems that my room is 15 feet long, 15 feet on each side. And that is a quick introductory of perfect squares and square roots, and we'll continue later.